Okay, good evening. As the manager said, we're here to give just a brief update, as we have been doing every 2 weeks at your legislative meetings. So our first update is that the General Assembly they adjourned and released their 2-year budget, and that budget is now under review by the governor. The General Assembly will reconvene, I believe it's 6 Wednesdays after all these specific Virginia things, 6 Wednesdays after their adjournment. And that is when they will review any governor's recommendations or vetoed legislation. And so for now, AEDP and city engagement teams are continuing to have conversations with the community. We are meeting as requested with various civic and business and community organizations, and we'll continue to do that as the General Assembly and Governor evaluate paths that may then bring this project to here for our consideration here in Alexandria. So sort of status quo for us in terms of our outreach and engagement. Speaking of engagement, we are now up to 886 total inquiries on the website, still cranking through a lot of those answers, and just wanted to take the opportunity to remind people to visit monumentalalx.com, and there's a link where you can go up and see the smart sheet, and as answers are published, that's where they can find them. We completed a pop-up series since we were last here, and so there were 4 specific pop-up opportunities, and they featured members of city staff, AEDP staff, and even some city council members who were there to engage with community members who had questions, comments, or were just stopping by to say hi in various locations. Last week, we completed our first, what we're calling a workshop with the adjacent civic representatives. We have met with almost every civic group that sort of touches Potomac Yard, and we're trying to find ways to continue the conversation in a more kind of people-wise, manageable way. And so we've invited representatives from all of these groups to come together to start to talk more about, less about the project, more about what things we might want to do if the project were to come to fruition. So think about neighborhood protection, think about specific suggestions in transportation and transit, noise, other things like that. And so we had a great session with the group that you see here and are committed to doing that on at least a monthly basis should the project move forward. And finally, just wanted to remind anyone who's listening that there are still ways to provide us feedback, suggestions, and submit questions. All of that is on the website. And depending on kind of the project and if it moves forward, we do have teed up the ability to bring a tool that the city has used for other engagement where you can text. When you're out in the neighborhood, you can scan a QR code and be able to text questions, et cetera. So we have that queued up and are going to be making a decision about whether to move forward with that in the coming weeks. And that is our update.
Okay, any questions for Ms. Taylor or Ms. Landrum? All right, well, thank you very much for the update. We appreciate it, and I'm sure the conversation will continue. All right.